Yeah, when I was at university, I didn't think about the big questions of God or the reason we're here at all, really. It was when I was working, I was in the workplace and I was on a business trip somewhere, and I went for an airport, and I picked up a book fairly randomly from the bookshelf that was Richard Dawkins' The God Delusion. And I read that, and it resonated quite a lot. It seemed to make a lot of sense, and I thought, yeah, I agree with that. I met a Christian at a house party fairly randomly. I'd just moved house, got into a conversation about what I thought. I was asked what I thought about Jesus, and I was desperately trying to recall some Dawkins quotes. And I think I just went home that evening with a slight sort of, just a doubt that I didn't answer those questions as well as I could. Maybe I should reread Dawkins. That's what I went away thinking from that night. But then I was this friend who I just met followed it up and gave me a few Christian books to read. Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. And I read it, and I fairly arrogantly thought that I was going to be able to pull it apart and find the holes in it, because I knew that God didn't exist. But the actuality was very different from that, and that C.S. Lewis made a very logical case for God and for Christianity, and I kind of thought there's more to this than I'd ever given it credit, so I decided to, I guess, look into it a bit more. The case for the moral argument that C.S. Lewis made very powerfully was really compelling. The fact that, yeah, I sort of could recognise that deep sense of right and wrong that was within me, and sort of just looking at sort of the naturalist evolution approach on its own, you can't explain where it comes from. So I found that one really compelling. And just the whole host of reading these books from academics, from the likes of John Lennox and Alistair McGrath, clearly very educated guys. I think I probably arrogantly thought that intellectuals weren't Christians or didn't believe in God. And to be, I mean, clearly clever people believe in God and clever people don't, and it's not a sign of any intellectual. But the fact that there were intellectuals out there that were Christians really kind of gave me a bit of a wake-up call, I think. I got hold of a couple more books, some kind of challenging the Dawkins view. The Dawkins Delusion was one of those. I was also given a couple of books on Christianity, the Case for Christ. That was one, a really compelling argument by a journalist who'd gone through perhaps a similar journey to me, sort of fairly logically looking at a lot of the arguments. And then one Sunday I went to church. I kind of thought, well, okay, if I'm actually going to find out a bit about Christianity, maybe church is the place to go. I actually went to Google and Googled churches in Southampton and didn't know where to go. And yeah, just walking in for the first time, and people want to sort of shake your hand and welcome you, and I almost wanted to be anonymous and just hide at the back, and I'm just here to observe, and just not part of it. So it was scary. Coming to faith and now believing in Jesus, it's made so much difference to my life. Just in all areas, really, in the way I am at work, in the way I am with my family and friends. I think quite a lot of my friends have noticed a difference. Sometimes they don't know quite what to attribute it to. I met up for lunch with a friend about a month ago, who I hadn't actually seen for about the last year. And over lunch she just said to me, she said, "You've changed." And said, "Changed for the better," which was to make me smile a little bit. She said, "There's a sense of peace about you." And I could recognise that. I think, yeah, I am a lot more at peace generally.